Good evening and thank you for joining us. A man who killed a passerby when he drove his car into a crowd of people outside his sister's wedding reception has been found guilty of murder. Chris Marriott was helping an injured woman when he was killed by Hassan Janga, who deliberately crashed his car into a group of people in Burngreave in December 2023. Well, Mark Ansell is at Sheffield Crown Court for us this evening. Mark.
Well, Chris Marriott was a quiet, deeply kind man who ended up losing his life while trying to help save a stranger. Today, Hassan Janga has been found guilty of murdering Chris when he ploughed into him while Chris was trying to save the life of Hassan Janga's sister, who was lying injured in the road. Friends and colleagues of Chris Marriott have been paying tribute to him, and they describe him as a modern day Good Samaritan in the way he lived and the way he died. Chris Marriott, the father of two who died when he selflessly helped a stranger who was lying injured in the road. Chris was unwittingly caught up in a wedding feud between two families in Burngreave. On the 27th of December 2023, Hassan Janga heard his sister Nafisa had been injured outside the home of another sister's new husband. He drove round there and struck 5 people with the car, including Chris Marriott and off-duty midwife Alison Norris, who were both trying to help Nafisa.
Just walked around the corner, saw what I thought was a bundle of clothes, then realised it was a person, went to see if I could help. I later found out his name was Chris. I didn't know him, but I remember he was very sensible. He'd checked she was breathing, checked there was a pulse, called the ambulance, and I was like calming down and thinking, right, we just need to keep her stable till the ambulance comes. Very quickly after we started examining the woman, car came around the corner and hit us.
Chris was killed instantly.
2 other casualties.
I couldn't see him because of the way the car came between us, and I remember thinking, I hope he's all right, I hope he's all right, I hope he's all right. I think I kind of knew, just because of the force, you know, cars dangerous, but I was really sad.
Ben knew Chris for nearly 30 years. They met while at university in Sheffield and went to the same church. Ben says Chris was like a brother to him.
He was just a great guy to be around. Your interactions with him, you always came away feeling loved and cared for, and you always had a laugh. You always had a joke. He had a gift of a sense of humour that made you want to laugh with him as well. That's the story of his life. He wanted to help people, whether it was student services at Sheffield College, whether it was working in debt advice, whether it was leading a food bank, or whether it was helping young people. It was his constant desire was to step out and to help other people to have a better life.
Graham worked with Chris for 10 years, organising a Christian camping festival together.
The Good Samaritan is a story that Jesus told. We read about it in the Bible, and here in Chris's life and in his tragic death, you've got a modern day version of that.
Chris worked for the Christian charity Jubilee Plus. Their chief executive says Chris genuinely cared about others.
Chris was always helping people in need. It was part of his everyday life. He was giving his life to that. That's, you know, I mean, he laid down his life literally, but he was laying down his life in 100 small ways, day by day by day. It just characterised who he was.
Alison wants to highlight the support of the community in Burngreave after she was badly injured.
People from all communities, they just rocked up. They offered to walk the dog, they brought food, they sat with me. When we were frightened of walking by where it all happened initially, they said, we'll come with you. It's a real community and it's invaluable. It just made so much difference, the amount of support we got.
Alison has a message for Hassan Janga, the man responsible for seriously injuring her and killing Chris.
You can't undo what's done, but I hope as he goes forward, he uses this to make different choices in the future.
Chris Marriott will forever be remembered as the modern day Good Samaritan. After Hassan Jangur ploughed into Chris Marriott and 4 other people, he got out of his car and started stabbing another man called Hassan Khan. Now, Khan had earlier that day married another of Hassan Jangur's sisters called Armani. Today, Hassan Jangur's father, Mohammed Jangur, was found guilty of perverting the course of justice for taking the knife from his son and hiding it in the boot of his car. Hassan Jangur and Mohammed Jangur will be sentenced at a later date, which is yet to be decided.
Mark, thank you.